Hello, property managers and landlords. Navigating lease terminations and evictions is one of the most sensitive and challenging aspects of rental property management. These situations require careful handling, not only to ensure compliance with landlord-tenant laws, but also to protect your financial interests and reputation. Whether a tenant chooses to leave voluntarily or you need to initiate an eviction due to non-compliance, having a thorough understanding of legal processes and responsibilities is critical. In today's video, we'll walk you through the legal frameworks, practical steps, and expert strategies needed to manage lease terminations and evictions lawfully, professionally, and effectively in Bengaluru. 1. Know the legal grounds for ending a tenancy. Before taking any action, it's crucial to understand the lawful reasons for lease termination and eviction as per local regulations. Legal grounds for eviction typically include non-payment rent, breach of lease terms, property misuse, or involvement in unlawful activities. Lease termination may arise at the natural end of the lease, through mutual agreement, or in cases where the landlord needs to reclaim the property for personal use or sale. Being well informed about these legal provisions ensures that you act within your rights and avoid unlawful eviction claims or tenant disputes. 2. Start with a legally robust lease agreement. A comprehensive and legally sound lease agreement is the cornerstone of effective rental management. It should clearly define terms related to rent payment, maintenance responsibilities, occupancy limits, behavioral expectations, and termination procedures. A well-drafted lease, aligned with Karnataka's rental laws, gives you the necessary legal backing in case of disputes. Using professionally vetted lease documents reduces ambiguity and ensures enforceability if legal action becomes necessary. 3. Issue legally compliant notices promptly. Proper notice is a mandatory step in lease termination and eviction processes. The required notice period and format will depend on the reason for termination and local legal provisions. For example, a 30-day notice may apply for a no-fault termination, while a 3-day notice might be valid for rent defaults. Notices should be delivered through the appropriate legal channels, whether in person via registered post or through approved digital communication. Skipping or mishandling this step could render the eviction invalid in court. For maintain clear and detailed documentation. Thorough documentation is your strongest protection in any dispute. Keep a detailed paper trail of all communications, rent receipts, inspection reports, maintenance logs, and notices served. If the tenant damages property or violates lease terms, collect photographic evidence and written records. Proper documentation not only supports your case in court, but also demonstrates professionalism and due process. 5. Follow due legal process for rent defaults. When dealing with non-payment rent, start by issuing a formal pay or quit notice specifying a grace period for clearing dues or vacating property. If the tenant does not respond, file for eviction through the appropriate legal channel. Avoid illegal practices like changing locks or cutting utilities, as these constitute unlawful evictions and could lead to penalties or legal consequences for the landlord. 6. Manage early lease terminations with care. Tenants may request to break their lease early for personal or professional reasons. In such cases, refer to the lease agreement for early termination clauses. You may choose to enforce a lease break fee, deduct a security deposit, or allow a replacement tenant. Whatever resolution is agreed upon, ensure it is documented in writing to avoid misunderstandings. Approach these situations with empathy while ensuring compliance with legal obligations. 7. Ensure evictions are fair and non-discriminatory. Evictions must be based solely on lawful grounds. Never initiate eviction due to a tenant's religion, race, gender, disability, or complaints made in good faith. Discriminatory or retaliatory evictions are illegal and can result in lawsuits or fines. Always ensure that your eviction actions are based on valid legal reasons and are not motivated by personal bias or frustration. 8. Initiate legal proceedings through the court. When informal resolution fails, proceed with formal eviction by filing a case in the appropriate rent court. Submit all required documentation, including the lease agreement, notices served, and supporting evidence. A hearing will be scheduled where both you and the tenant can present your case. If the court rules in your favor, an official eviction order will be issued, authorizing removal of the tenant through legal means. 9. Coordinate eviction enforcement with authorities. Once a court order is obtained, Coordinate with local law enforcement, usually a court-appointed bailiff or police officer, to carry out the physical eviction. Do not attempt to evict the tenant yourself. Be present with a locksmith to secure the premises immediately. Conduct a walkthrough to assess the property's condition and document any damages. Maintaining professionalism during this stage helps avoid unnecessary conflict. 10. Handle abandoned tenant property legally. After eviction, tenants may leave behind belongings. Laws in Bengaluru specify how landlords must deal with abandoned property, including timeline for storage and notification. Send a written notice to the tenant, informing them of the retrieval procedure and time frame. If the property is not collected within the legal window, only then can you dispose of or auction it as permitted by law. Non-compliance with these rules can expose you to legal action. Bonus tip: work with legal experts to ensure compliance. Lease termination and eviction laws can be complex and are subject to updates. Partnering with a property lawyer or legal consultant can provide you with the expertise required to handle these matters confidently. Legal professionals can draft compliant notices, represent you in court, and advise on changes in local rental laws. With proper legal guidance, you reduce the risk of costly errors and maintain a strong position in any dispute. We hope this video has helped you understand the legal process of lease terminations and evictions in Bengaluru. If you found this information useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the SANGAU channel for more insights into property management and landlord best practices. Stay informed, stay compliant, and manage your rental properties with confidence.